Yo, what's up guys? It's Vader and I'm back with another figure review. This time I thought I'd show you guys the review finally on one of the Final Fantasy figures that I have in my collection by PlayArts Kai. But what we're going to do is take a look at the bootleg Noctis first. And the reason I say bootleg is because this is not obviously the real one, it is of course a bootleg. And I thought I'd give you guys a closer look at the box first. Now, something to note about the real version of these figures, the PlayArts Kai figures, is they would actually have like a logo here, and like a logo I think at the bottom right as well, indicating that it's actually a licensed product and not an actual bootleg. And I think it's got one up in the top right as well. And what I will say about the actual bootleg is it's not too bad. The paint apps on it are really they're okay for like how much you're getting. It's not like obviously the quality of the real piece itself, but it's still pretty good. And I think that's an actual image there of the actual figure itself, like the real version. And obviously you've got writing down here, but it's all in like Japanese, because I think this is like the Japanese, I think it was either the Japanese or the Chinese boxed version, because I know that there's one where you can get it loose and it's a lot better than the boxed version, but I went with the boxed version because it's cheaper. And I was tempted to actually buy the real version, but the real version goes for quite a bit of money now. So you take this part off and obviously you would have the little bio here of the game and of course Noctis himself. I'm going to get a closer look at that. Like I said guys, it's a biopic of the game and Noctis, so of course feel free to pause the video. And obviously you would get the figure in here as well. Now like I said, this is the boxed bootleg version, so I don't think you get the spear or the king sword. You only get the engine sword, which is kind of a bummer, but the engine sword's his main weapon of choice anyway, so that's still pretty good. So nothing at the sides. Of course you've got the logo there in the figure, Noctis Lucis Kylum by PlayArts Kai. So now that we've taken the box out of the way and we're actually having a look at the figure now, you can kind of see what I mean by the detail with the paint. Now I of course painted the hair a more black colour, because in the game it is more black than it was like the actual figure, or this bootleg anyway. It was more like a grey colour with subtle bits of like black in it, but it wasn't completely black as to how it is now. But yeah, here's a closer look at the paint apps on the actual piece itself. I actually cut the collar down a little bit to make it more accurate to how it is in the game, because that's the one thing I hated about this figure when I got it, was the fact that the collar was really big. It kind of looked like Solid Snake from MGS1, the way that the outfit was, the jacket on him. See, that's the base of the cloud. The paint apps on this one is obviously much better because this is of course the real one. But this is a bootleg of Noctis. It's still pretty good, it's still really nicely detailed for how much you're paying for it. But anyway, before I go into articulation on the figure, I'll give you guys a look at the accessories. You don't get much, you only just get the sword and a bunch of interchangeable hands. So you've got like one that's fisted, I believe. So we've got the fisted hand there. Another hand for holding his sword that's gloved, another gloved fist hand, and a relaxed gloveless hand. Now it says on the box that the figure has over 20 points of articulation, so basically where this guy is actually posable, he pretty much is posable. So he's got like torso articulation, his arms have good articulation, he even has good articulation in the wrist as well because of how the figure is, but because it's a bootleg, the hand, if I can get it to focus on it, yeah, it's kind of damaged a little bit. It's not so much on the other hand, but on this hand it's kind of damaged. But it's still pretty good. And of course you get the base as well. So if like the figure was like more larger, you can obviously take this part off and like extend it upwards, and you've got like different like styles of grabbers for it. It's actually really well thought out the way that they did this Play Arts guy. I wish Hot Toys would do something more like this. Like give you the like options if you want to like have it like a neck grabber or a torso grabber, should I say. But yeah, anywhere on this guy is articulated. He's even got like knee articulation. There's one thing that's kinda a bit weird about this figure, because obviously it's a bootleg, so it's obviously like the actual molds of the actual figure. This part here, don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera. Yeah, you can kind of make it out. See, there's like a seam here. This part here, that's basically where you would have the articulation in the actual toe, but obviously because it's a bootleg it doesn't have it, but the Cloud one does. See? Just something I would point out, I'm pointing out for you guys, but other than that, it is pretty well articulated. It just won't bloody stand now. And I do plan on maybe getting a few more of these figures. Maybe the Predator and Darth Vader, because I quite like the look of the Darth Vader, but it's more like an anime kind of look to him. It's not like your traditional looking Darth Vader, it's more like, I think it's like an artist interpretation, like it looks more anime, and the lightsaber looks really cool. There's like an effect one that you can get for it that's like as if he's like, it's like a swooshing effect, but it looks really cool. I'll just show you guys some of like the poses that you could get this guy on, this guy, and obviously this is just one of them, and obviously the one that I had on, but yeah, you can get a lot of articulation out of these figures. Just be careful with this figure because the joints on like the knee, I think it's like this part, they aren't really that good. It's obviously not a ratchet joint, but for some reason when you like pose them like standing, you like one leg will like jiggle around, so you need to be careful with that if you're ever going to buy one of these ones, or just buy the real one. It's up to you guys, but I'm just giving you guys the review on this one. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review on the bootleg boxed Noctis figure. As I said, I'm going to try and do the Cloud one next, and maybe have another video guys for you today, so it's like 3 video reviews I'm getting today. So as ever guys, thanks so much for watching, take care and have a good day. Cheers guys.